그대로네. Listen up, baby, it's been a long time. 내 품에 dive 내 눈은 반짝 spotlight. 알록달록 나의 바다야, babe. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I'm back in town. Loosen up, babe. 몸이 가벼워져. 바람이 일어 넌 부드르고 달아. 오래 그린 나의 향수야, babe. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I'm back in town. Hey, 익숙한 내 새롭지. 기가 훌쩍 커버렸지. 계속 들여다봐 zoom on and on, on and on. 이제야 살 것 같아. 넌 나를 숨쉬게 해. 영원히 여기 살래.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can. Listen up, baby. It's been a long time. 내 품에 dive 내 눈은 반짝 spotlight. 알록달록 나의 바다야, babe. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I'm back in town. Loosen up, babe. 몸이 가벼워져. 바람이 일어 넌 부드르고 달아. 오래 그린 나의 향수야, babe. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I'm back in town. Back in town. Ba-da-ba, I'm 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 back in town.
Where's my microphone got to? I'm sitting on it. Right, I should sound a bit better now. Good evening, and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, which is apparently more disorganised than usual today. So what happened last time? We'd stopped letting the sea in. We've not quite built the wall that will prevent the sea getting in again. There is a doctor here who is right now constructing a wall. Here. Right, there we go. Now if some ghost opens the forbidden floor hatch, it will not actually let the sea into the fortress, but merely into this small cupboard which doesn't have a door anymore, in the sense that it's been walled in. So that should be quite safe. Unfortunately, while the flooding didn't kill anyone, we did lose 2 dwarves in the process of digging some extra drains down here. Yes, because they fell down the drains they were digging, and there's an awful lot of down. And
You have managed to make a monument so that they're not going to...
I think I'm working on that.
Okay.
And here we can see a dwarf that kind of splashed at the bottom.
And whose ghost is going to haunt the fortress, force bad safety practices forevermore, unless you can create a memorial.
Yes, unless we put a sign up saying, please do not fall down this hole again. Oh, indeed, here it is. A memorial to Rigoth Kiton, Idokiton, which says he went missing because, well, no one can see the body. It's too far down.
Only God can see the body,
Yes.
etc. Right.
Well, Armok anyway. Right. Stop reading the IRC, Ben, and get on with the Dwarf Fortress. So that farm plot is currently fallow because it's winter, so it will be sorted out shortly. Maybe it was only one dwarf who fell down here. Let's just have a look and try to count bodies. So, which is like actually it's not going to be too hard. We look for the number of names. So the gypsum slab is a memorial to Rigothidociton. But that's Mistem Emenzephon's leg. There are also bits of Rigothidociton down there. So we need to make sure that Mistem also gets a memorial. Someone working on that. Yes, excellent. Right, good. Is there a weirdness that even though I've got 2 butcher's shops, only one of them can ever have or can get an automatic butcher a corpse task, butcher an animal task? Let's try setting both of them to it, though. Maybe we're short of butchers too.
Butchery and doctoring consist of completely different tasks.
Oh no, we do have both of them active. I think the automatic butchering task only triggers on one of them. Can I do it as a work order, I wonder? Okay, so what that will do is once we have too many nearby items, it will start up the second butcher's shop, which is probably not what I want. Let's turn that number. The problem is that if we set it at 1, it will. Oh, we'll leave it like that for now. It'll probably work. And if we need to change it later, we can, and we can do it by hand always. Oh, excuse me. I've tangled the thing around my microphone. There we go. Right. So now what? So apart from that, we don't know of anything that's currently badly broken in the fortress. I think we've stopped. Well, we need to get rid of some of the clothes here. Those should I think they're just waiting for an adequate quantity of bins in the second-hand clothes stockpile, which does allow 35 bins, which is the correct number. Dear, we're continuing to annoy the wildlife though, and someone's managed to get into a fight with a giant Kia, but the giant Kia didn't last long. What do you do to it that quickly? All right, even though you're a wrestler, you do actually have a weapon as well, and you stabbed the giant Kia in the head pretty effectively. What is your weapon? It's not entirely obvious from its name. Well-crafted iron scimitar. Bet we didn't make that in the fortress. So yes, I was thinking that I have been being encouraged to reinstate our what? Why is there a piece of jewellery there? Should we have a jewellery stockpile or something? All right, that has an owner, so the owner has to actually want to move it to their bedroom, right? Yeah. So yes, I've been. Seb has been trying to encourage me to actually get on with building the scenic roller coaster. So possibly we should is that job? Oh right, that one. All right, there we go. Someone's picked that up. Good. Possibly we should actually start doing that, which means working out how the existing one is working. We've still got that rock clearance route, which is probably doing nothing useful. Let's delete that. That was an actual freight railway, and obviously we don't use railways for that. So I think we should add at least a route for the roller coaster that like hauls a light, reasonably light minecart up to the start of it and sets it going, and then we just see what goes on thereafter. So I think that probably means we add a new route called roller coaster, which has a single stop there, though possibly confusingly for a stop it will be called start. Excuse me. And we'll assign, some of our minecarts are getting quite battered. We'll assign a minecart to it. Actually, have we got a willow minecart or similar lying around? No. Let's use a particularly good minecart, and have a rule that says push off east immediately always, and then we'll see how it behaves. I mean, there are many aspects of this roller coaster that want to be re-engineered. I think currently minecarts end up airborne as they leave the end of the apiary. But I really can't remember what happens. I think we're going to make it slightly less interesting once they get going, simply because there's far too much space to cover. Oh, I should have looked at where that dead dog was so that I could mark it for disposal. Fool. I think that's probably a giant Kia head, but we might be able to butcher it, so let's not dispose of it just yet. Still have a... The butchery here is actually being reasonably efficient, isn't it? We have got a lot of dead things in this fortress, or around this fortress. Things keep arriving and then attacking us, and that gets them killed. And then more things arrive and attack us, and that gets them killed. Can we do anything with a beak? I don't know. We may... Oh, so yes, what's our clothing production looking like? Well, I mean, ballistic gel is a thing. Sorry, that's completely unhelpful to anyone not watching IRC. So we have at least enough vests, shoes, shirts, trousers, cloaks and hoods and mittens and more cloaks. Why do we have two separate jobs for making cloaks? That's obviously silly. Let's turn off that one. I mean, possibly because they're using different materials, I suppose. Yeah, maybe I should have left it. I don't know. But like at the moment we have so much leather, we should probably make everything out of leather. But I think we probably also have a decent supply of clothes in general. I mean, there's someone whose shoes are worn and who could do with new shoes. But we did have a job for making shoes, so. Make leather shoe and we already have 40 shoes lying around. So frankly, if someone isn't changing their shoes, that's their problem. So is someone sorting out putting that minecart somewhere useful? Yes. You should actually, of course, follow the minecart. Well, it's been placed on the track, but not launched, because that would be too easy. Someone else will probably come along and launch it in a moment. Indeed, we have a T marker there, which suggests that they're going to. Sorry, I was reminded by the tea marker to check that I didn't have any tea to drink, but I don't. It's the sky viewed from above, which is kind of weird. We are a long way up at the moment at the start of the roller coaster. The roller coaster doesn't go very far at this stage. We're probably going to have to fell quite a few more trees in order to make it adequately long. Right, so minecart going down perfectly ordinarily into the little underground tunnel and back up again, slowing down as you might expect. Now, does it now get airborne at the top? No. Good. Right, so it's still staying on the track. Yes, I'm doing this at single stepping. Now the minecart is definitely airborne, so we need to fix that. And now it's probably thinking about landing. Somehow there's already a task to pick it up. Has it stopped? Yes, okay, it went wee clonk. Right, so I think what we should do is to extend the track horizontally from here for a bit. And we could just see how far it can get, I suppose. Let's like build the track out to that wall. We'll thus need like quite a lot of wood. Let's check the wood stockpile nearby. Right, we're going to need more trees for this. Let's fell some more of the trees outside the walls. And then actually we can demolish all of the track down here. And that ramp. And that will then put us in a position, that will give us a bit more wood, and then we can build a new one. Say, how many wood have we got conveniently to hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. No. Yes. Yes. I'm
just thinking, when traders turn up, you could trade wood for sheep or meat or stone, but I've never seen.
Oops. Yes, I use bricks a lot in this fortress. Where is the wood anyway? Oh, there we are. Right, okay, so we're not building. That one is unnecessary though. We can mark that one to be not built. And let's not build an end stop. So yes, a lot of my rooms are lined with porcelain bricks because that's a high value material that I can make. So the entire washroom, for instance, is constructed of porcelain, well, apart from some of the roof, which I should really replace. And we've made at least a few earthenware bricks, which are like more of what you might expect to make bricks out of. But those are not, that earthenware is not a particularly interesting building material, though it does have the advantage of being free, as in, unlike trees which require you to wood which requires you to cut down trees, or stone which requires you to dig stuff up, clay, given 1 square of clay, you can produce an arbitrary amount of clay from it somehow. It's like sand in that respect, and then you can make an arbitrary amount of earthenware out of without having to like permanently change the map in doing so. Similarly, glass, which you make out of sand. So, like, there is an argument for building everything out of earthenware bricks or stoneware bricks, or even porcelain bricks. No, porcelain we do have to dig up. Porcelain works like a stone. I think that's all one giant Kia fighting everyone. Oh, maybe not. Can't see the giant Kia now though, so that's probably okay. There is an argument I should turn off that minecart while we're constructing more track, isn't there? Seb says porcelain's kaolinite. Yes. Well, or rather, porcelain is what you get by firing kaolinite. So in Dwarf Fortress, which is reasonably accurate in this respect, you get earthenware by firing most kinds of clay, stoneware by firing fire clay, I think, and porcelain by firing kaolinite.
I have to say, fire clay does sound kind of like a fake fantasy novel thing.
Yeah. And Dwarf Fortress thus enabled me to understand and explain more of the ceramics galleries in the Fitzwilliam Museum to my niece. In particular, the way that you find once you get good white glazes, people start making earthenware dishes, etc., that imitate the earlier porcelain ones. Right, what am I doing? I'm temporarily turning this off, yes. I appear to have two options, both of which are essentially always. I think what I do is I do that one, and then that's always and when full, which it should never be. Right. Oh dear, our stockpile of dead animals is full again. Like, we just can't butcher them fast enough. Well, we're working on it, like, or at least we're, I suppose we could try setting up a butcher's guild hall to encourage people to learn butchery from one another rather than just learning it on the job. Right, so dwarves are slowly constructing that extra bit of track there. If we're lucky, someone is coming to like fell some trees out here. Not at the moment. Are we short of people who can fell trees or something? also happily making soap, and I think we are like quite full of soap now. So what's going on here? What have we actually managed to get a live agitated or a intact? No, it's only a skeleton. Oh well. More bones. I think we're short of butchers still, because no one's operating this butcher's shop, and we're trying to keep butchers fairly specialised, but possibly we just need to add another one. Oh, all of them are in the military, right? Well, let's find someone who's not in the military. Ideally someone who just says doctor and doesn't have any interesting things assigned to them already. Oh, you're the mayor. How are you? Monwazavas Lula, that's a very familiar name. Who are they?
Exactly.
I shall just turn on a repeating butcher and animal job at in that one.
Find a bee butcher and butcher it.
See, let's do that at both. I didn't need to do that. I could just turn it on there. There. It'll be a while before we really need to start. Before we really need it to be able to turn that job off, because well, there's a substantial supply of things that need butchering. Why do are we like short of empty bins or something? Is this a question I can even ask? Yes, I suppose it kind of is, in that I can page through this and go, are there any that just appear as thing would bin rather than bin that contains things. It does rather look like, after we finally didn't have anyone who desperately needed us. Why is that bin forbidden? Unforbid the bin. After we didn't have anyone who insisted that we not export bins, we've now gone and run ourselves out of bins. How embarrassing. Do we have a task to make more bins? I think we do. Also making caskets, but that's almost finished. Yes, we do have a make wooden bins repeatedly. We're going to want quite a few more, aren't we? Let's ask for another 20. We appear to have at least some coffins in there, so let's see if we've got somewhere we can put them.
God, I found a ring.
I mean, I don't think we're short of unoccupied tombs at the moment, which is good. Okay, that's more unoccupied, more spare coffins than I thought we were going to have. Oh well, that's good. And that will free up space in stockpile 1 for other objects. We can probably make that track a bit longer. Make sure it's set to not use closest material. I think it was still set to use closest material, wasn't it? Or did I just do something stupid? No, I think I failed to construct anything. Oh, because if I claim I want to start there, does it? No access. I think that's complaining because I can't actually build the track off the end of the existing one because you can't get to it at the moment because there's no track there. That's a bit silly. Oh well. Right. We could probably start unforbidding more of the goblins stuff so that we can start getting it in and thinking about melting it down. And we should possibly re-establish all of our pedestals. So possibly we should also take advantage of this opportunity to improve where they are. I don't know. Could we do some better job of laying them out, I wonder? Pedestals, because the cave trolls or whatever they brought with them, cave dragons that they brought with them, that the goblins last brought with them, knocked down a lot of my pedestals with goblin heads on the top. Oh, that one's accidentally ended up suspended. That's why this isn't finished. All right, the automatic jobs have now started turning up properly there. See, if we could make railway tracks out of bones, that would make life so much simpler. Why is there a coffin here? It's not a helpful place for it to be. Like, how did it end up out there in the first place? That's not even on a sensible route to plant it. Oh well, I think someone's moved it now. Oh no, there it is, it's still there. You have an awful lot of like bags in here, many of them empty. Can't you store bags in bins? Why are the bags not being stored in bins? Is that just because we don't have enough bins? I presume someone is going to build that railway track. I could remove the test track up here, couldn't I? That would probably free me up some more wood, without needing to like cut so many trees down. Let's do that. And indeed, the upward sloping track is not much use because we probably want to do that with a... Well, no, we don't quite know how... We might need it eventually. Maybe eventually this will actually be a closed loop of roller coaster rather than a thing which fires minecarts at goblins. Why are you guys running around on the top of the walls around the reservoir? I feel that's a rather dangerous place to be. You might fall in. Suddenly he gets a destroy building task. Right, building destroyed. No, you're destroying a different building. There, that building destroyed. Right, now we're removing the last one of those rollers. And then we can dismantle the test track itself. Okay, apparently we still don't have enough butchers to keep both butchers' shops operational. So maybe I should assign yet another. Entirely arbitrarily. Possibly I should have been deliberately found someone who wasn't already doing something, but that would have been an effort. Why is the carpenter's workshop idle? Have we finished? Is it just that I've run myself out of wood again? Oh dear. More trees. Why is no one cutting down trees? We have 3 woodcutters, but none of them is currently cutting down trees. Well, let's find someone fairly arbitrary. No, someone who doesn't already have lots of jobs. And put them in onto tree cutting duty, because having someone doing it is going to be helpful. Obviously there'll be a short delay while they find themselves an axe. You're moving quite rapidly. You've calmed down again. Whatever it was you were chasing has gone. Still lots of stuff that has to be tidied up from there. I don't think we're going to unwasp name any more of it. What's going on with that cage trap? Oh, it's only half constructed. Resume construction. They're trying to improve things so that this area... That's a reason why we want to clear things out, is so we can put more traps in. So that we can fill the space with cage traps rather than weapon traps. Because then if we can capture the agitated wildlife, we can train it, and that's much more fun than killing it.
Does the agitated does not cause a problem there?
I don't think so. I think we managed to successfully train a giant eagle, even though it had arrived agitated.
Oh, they then become tame giant eagles, not tame agitated giant.
Yes, I think so.
I'm remembering they still breed.
They stay agitated when they're dead. Yes. I'm not sure if when they're tame they then become dead agitated, but I think they don't.
Tame dead agitated. Oh, right. Dead tame agitated. Oh,
Um, so there's probably a lot of forbidden pedestals around. But I should probably find the pedestals and unforbid them all, because I think they're forbidden by virtue of having been knocked over. So if we unforbid all the pedestals, then we can set about re-erecting them. Like that. That's all the siltstone ones. Most of them are made of siltstone, though. Right. Is anyone coming to cut trees down yet? No. So I think we should make sure that we leave some space between, I don't know, do we leave space, try to leave space between the pedestal and the water? Maybe we know we had one there, we could just continue. That one apparently still has a building, that one has. Okay, does that mean that some of these pedestals are actually... Yes, I think that run haven't been demolished yet. Right. So it's just the ones that were along the edge of the river that need to be re-erected. But let's just request them all the way down the river until we run out of pedestals. Right. So there are a few more of them that need dealing with than I had thought. Let's unforbid things that are on traps, because like at some point we're going to want to dismantle the traps and put new traps in. So removing all of those objects is likely to be helpful, right? So that just means we're going to get even more tasks of shifting objects around. How's our coal situation going anyway? Do I need to mine more of it? Incoming coal, the incoming coal stockpiles aren't empty at least. We've got 804 coke, right, I really don't need to mine any more coal. Not yet anyway. Right, so that bit of track is finished. We've got a good 12 more wood there, so we could extend it by another 12. Three, 4, 5, 6. Indeed, we've got a bit more available if we want it. Cancel the ends. And we can make an access point there quite easily, so let's do that. Since we have a pillar that was used for running minecarts into. And I think we can just continue this across here. How close can we build to the edge of the map? Right, we need to be a bit careful then. So we're going to want some kind of mechanism for turning a corner here, but we'll see how fast the minecarts are going when they get here. Like possibly we want some wind-powered mechanism for raising the minecarts up so that they can be set going properly. That's kind of my idea of what's going to happen. So yes, these should both be in the second-hand clothes stockpile, but I think the second-hand clothes stockpile is persistently short of... Oh, it's a giant leopard gecko. The second-hand clothes stockpile is persistently short of bins. Are you going to spot that soldier there? Yes. Which didn't go well for you. I think we should just set up cage traps around this entrance actually. Since it's a long way away, we'll use stone mechanisms for this, which are a lot lighter than the metal ones. Right, so if we erect 4 cage traps at that entrance, then that might capture bits of wildlife coming in there before they get killed. I want to leave a nice wide gap in the middle for trade caravans to come in through. That's a spurious cage, isn't it? Let's dismantle that cage. And actually these ones as well. Because then they can be used for traps. Let's make that a repeating job again, because apparently the work order based job has got confused or gone, oh, there's nothing here anymore. Or possibly I've just timed that badly. Who knows? Found ospreys apparently. They're also getting into fights. So have we managed to clear the rubbish out of our swimming pool yet? Almost. There are a couple of exceptional but worn shoes. This lot, which are all perfect unowned clothing, so they should go into the second-hand clothing stockpile as soon as we've got a bin to put them in. Oh, what's that rotting? Is that where that dog was that I didn't manage to locate because I cleared the message too soon? Probably yes. Right, so that those cage traps still need to be loaded. And indeed, here come people, well, at least a person and another person, yes. Here come people with some cages to load the traps with. Then maybe we can have fewer deaths of wild animals and more tamings of wild animals, which will be much more entertaining. Right, I think we just had to wait for the job to complete. So that one now has a cage in. That one doesn't. So we've got one cage there at least. All right, some people are now coming to chop down trees. Excellent. I think a peregrine falcon is interesting. Some of these cages might be quite heavy. Why are you going that way with that cage? You've decided that cage wants storing in a stockpile, have you? Okay. You at least are loading a cage trap. Right, good. You're loading a cage trap, albeit with a rather heavy copper cage. And someone else is bringing another metal cage. Good. So that then ought to give us something that might catch animals that come in through there, as long as they don't go straight in through the entrance. Heave. Apparently there is some existing conflict around here that I can't see. Right. So now we'll see what manages to find them. Oh dear, we have a bit of a problem. I think that these constructions are rather easily suspended if anyone gets scared when they are trying to go and construct them. Right, so I think we should carry on with our task of replacing weapon traps with cage traps over here. So we could remove a couple of those. I mean, like, actually, let's keep the cage traps on the... Can we make those into proper islands, I wonder? And then what happens if we do? Because, like, goblins will happily try to jump across the river if it's narrow enough. in order to get to us, but animals won't generally jump across the river. So we could use that as a filter and put weapon traps on islands in the river, except that I've kind of tried not to have islands because then those are difficult to remove. Oh, I suppose no, it doesn't matter. They just have to be places that animals won't go, and animals are generally trying to get somewhere. So if the islands are dead ends, then that will do the job perfectly well. So what we want to avoid is islands that are ways to get that are like bridges across the river. That should work all right. So let's not worry too much about the islands. We particularly want to put the traps in the places where animals will want to go, and I don't think that will be too hard to achieve. Now we just have to wait for that to finish saving. Right, there we go. So these two, for instance, definitely want to be... what now? Oh, tribute has arrived. That's nice. These two definitely want to be demolished. And let's also unforbid all the items on that weapon trap, because those are going to need to be out of the way before we can build a cage trap in their place. A large number of animals have just died. I think that's possibly because they were all nominally born on the 1st of the year and thus died on the 1st of the year or something like that. Well, let's try to get the corpses out of the way too.
Given that the language says found dead, I was going to suggest that maybe they died individually over a period of time and someone had just walked into the room where it happened.
Yeah, they're scattered all over the place though. I think this means we're not adequately quickly butchering our own livestock. I've got about 2 more dead animals I should be able to find. Not counting the giant leopard gecko or the osprey. Right, so that trap was removed, and we should now put a cage trap in its place. That trap is still pending removal. Lots of people have changed roles. We've also found a dead goose somewhere slightly more obscure apparently. I think this probably means I need to be a bit more proactive about slaughtering. Right. Tribute has arrived. I bet it's not very exciting. It would be nice if it were. A hazelwood crutch, a steel puzzle box, a menacing copper spike, 5 prepared donkey heart, 1 alpaca wool bag, and 10 quicklime. which I think might be useful for making parchment. Oh, and a vile force of darkness. It doesn't look like a big one though. And they're all green, which means it's actually a reasonably large number of them, but they're all green, which makes them archers and crossbow dwarves and crossbow men and so forth. So, like, let's just summon some soldiers up here and see what happens. I expect that halfway decent melee dwarves will have no difficulty dealing with this lot though. Okay, one half decent melee dwarf might have a bit of an effort. Like, doing all right so far, mind. Yeah, that's looking all right so far. I mean, not being highly effective, but not, as far as I can tell, being significantly injured either. See, can I go like military kills? Does that update in real time? Oh, you've got some help now. No, it doesn't update in real time. How sad. So our Mace Lord is still being spectacularly missed by everyone. And now a spear dwarf has arrived. Though most of their combat record is about wildlife. Okay, that was some fair... Yeah, that steel spear is quite effective, isn't it? Though, admittedly, a mace is probably less bad for the clothes that the goblins are wearing. So if you want to preserve those... And you've got another steel spear, right? Yeah, I think goblins who turn up with only crossbows are... Ooh, Someone's got hit though. Or possibly was unwell already. Definitely fell over. Oh yes, you did manage to get... Right, the copper arrow hit you while deflected by your steel boots. Hit you hard enough to tear the muscle in your right knee, which means you've fallen over and are now going to be having to continue this battle from the ground. Which, to be fair, doesn't seem to be causing you much difficulty and probably makes you harder to hit. Right, yes. There's one more goblin down there. Come on. Oh, two more goblins. Are you going to go and get the last ones, or do I have to actually direct you in that direction? Apparently you consider that going that far south is a bit much. Right, there we are, siege defeated. Because it wasn't really a siege. It was... Oh, and look, the army have turned up. Yes, after 3 dwarves defeated the entire goblin siege. It's possibly I don't think we need to worry about going. Should we slaughter some more animals? No, we have enough butchery to do already. The butcher's shops are busy. Construction is still ongoing. Good. Let's make another cage trap, even though that first one isn't finished yet. There. Which will take quite a bit of clearing out. Oh, we found another giant hamster. Ow. I mean, it did get killed, but it sounds like it was fairly ugly. Oh, right, it was down here. That's why it took a while to get dealt with. Oh, I found a dead cat, right, or dead kitten. You can go into the rubbish. Oh yes, we were meant to be like re-enabling that drain, weren't we? Is there a lever that'll do so? Do you think that lever will do so? Yes. Where does it drain to? All right, that one drains directly into the northern channel. So possibly we only want to would only want to enable that if the northern channel is the one that's in use, and currently we're using the southern channel there. I wonder why there are so many teeth down there and whose they are. I think we're now getting unbutcherable things lying around here quite a lot. Let's tag a few of them for dumping. Things that are obviously too small. Actually, I should just go plus D here, shouldn't I? Nails, oops. And chitin. And nervous tissue, rotted or otherwise, and gecko teeth. Anything named. I think giant horned owls are probably too small to butcher. It's kind of awkward to work that out though. One of the things you can't really tell is this thing not being butchered because we're busy butchering other things, which we are? Or is it not being butchered because it's unbutcherable? In which case it should just be dumped. I'm going to assume that non-giant birds are generally not useful. Yes, quite a lot of the contents of that stockpile is actually unbutcherable. So hopefully now that I've marked it for dumping, we can get some more items into that stockpile that are more interesting. All right, we've almost finished building that track. How are we off for wood? We've got a bit more because we did manage to fell some more trees. Oh, and there's lots of wood down there that just needs to be hauled back to the stockpiles. All right, and here's someone building the last step. So let's build. We can probably safely build all the way out to there now. Who knows? As usual, remove the two ends because those are only there to make sure it ends up being continuous. So slightly concerned by not being able to cook things there. That one is not right. Those are both in the right state. I think there's I suspect now what's happening up here is that dwarves are moving crossbow bolts off one trap and onto the other trap in both directions, and this is not actually going to help like get the traps built because they're all just busy annoying one another. we do have at least some bins there. And I observe a few caskets. Let's install a few more of those. Oh, is that ended up suspended? Yes, I wonder why. That's all of that layer filled with caskets. And we don't have any more. Good, because I think I may actually have carefully constructed the right number. Why is there a casket in this, next to this cage trap? What is in that cage? Oh, it's a Tearsal peregrine cage. How useful. Can we train one of those? Well, let's find out.
That dwarf's arm you found in that square was very easy to misread as Danger Mouse.
Cage. I don't know if we need to like. Oh no, that wasn't what I meant. I don't know if we need to actually install the cage in order to be able to train the animal in it. I mean, we could, I suppose, have a look in the pets, in the other list for now. Go, right, we have a Tearsal peregrine. Let us assign it to a trainer and see if we can turn it into a tame Tearsal peregrine. Similarly, we appear to have a Kia. Or non-giant. Oh, an elven caravan has arrived. I bet they have nothing we want. It's been a while since we've heard from them, so... Possibly we have nothing they'll want. It's an awful lot of the stuff we make is not elf friendly. But some of it is. Thank you, Simon. Don't know if there's anything in there that's worth selling. It does have some beeswax items, so we'll bring that up. Probably getting close to enough now. We could sell them some soap. Like, we are quite well off for soap now. Let's bring a couple of bins full of soap up here as well. Don't know if that will be enough. We've got one cage trap up here, that's nice. It should slightly reduce the rate of gratuitously killing. Oh, here's our elven caravan. Carefully stepping around all the dead animals at the entrance. No, that's the horse pen. I'm trying to click on the elf. Yes, doesn't feel anything after seeing the various dead animals around the entrance. Which is probably for the best. Right, so the Tiercel peregrine corpse, Tiercel peregrine rather, is still quite agitated. Obviously, entire goblin corpses are not things we keep.
I've just looked at the side effect I mentioned on mobile. It's quite impressive. More impressive than Scotland.
It's marked a few things for dumping at least, which will get them out of the way. Merchants have arrived and are unloading their goods. Did something just cancel a butcher job? No, it doesn't look like it. That's odd. Why did it vanish then? Maybe because it was completed. Not sure. You do appear to have a lot of unbutcherable items here that need to be disposed of, though. Aha, we've got an extra bin in that stockpile finally. Right, have all the merchants made it to the trade depot now? Possibly. They did arrive through a horde of dwarves carrying logs back to the fortress, which might possibly have made me unpopular. Like, we are at least making an effort to not kill so much of the local wildlife. Oh, this is starting to be built from both ends now. That's nice. We've still got a decent amount of wood available, so we could probably start extending it eastwards. And then we could put in like a tower here. Actually, could we just build an upward staircase here instead? Let's try it and see what happens. I mean, I suppose there's an argument that we don't want to make it too easy for the goblins to get onto the railway. On the other hand, if they do get onto the railway, they're likely to get hit by minecarts, so it may not be too much of a problem.
There's never been around when you want it.
So how's this stock file configured? Is that just any occupied cage? Right. Let's make that a slightly bigger stockpile. So that more things can be put in it. All of these are like scheduled for dumping. We're just waiting for someone to get around to it, as is so often the way. Our broker is nominally on the way to the trade depot.
When you press the button saying broker requested at depot, in my head one of those incomprehensible announcements like you see in small
Bing
supermarkets.
bong.
And the broker probably couldn't make sense of it because you never can.
And we're still fetching the wood. This is a problem with cutting down trees a long way from the fortress. It takes a long time to get the wood back.
See if I can beat the way home. And if not, well,
Right.
dry clothes anyway.
Oh, I found a dead rabbit. Let's just dispose of it. But it's possible that that was a rabbit shot by the goblins rather than a... Does this mean we actually have a bunch of forbidden goblin heads around? I think actually for the most part we've unforbidden them as part of generally unforbidding stuff that was left lying around in this battlefield. Though we'll want to do that again now that another bunch of goblins have turned up and died on us. Oh, where did you die? Oh dear. 2 children appear to have been killed by a creature. Agitated giant wild boar. Has gored a child or two. Turns out to be quite bad for the children. Oh dear. Let's explicitly ask for some soldiers out here. Those soldiers may be rather inefficient to get here. Let's explicitly ask for lots of soldiers, even though we don't need them all. So I think the agitated giant wild boar are a bit of a problem. There are some soldiers on their way. Who are you? You are a child. You're an 8-year-old child. or an 8-year-old child who is currently fighting. Right, I think the giant wild boar may possibly have got tired, and thus the child is now just repeatedly punching and scratching this giant wild boar, which is probably not... Yes, overexerted and nauseous, overexerted and bleeding and injured. So you've probably... Yes, you're being punched by someone a little... Are you being punched by our old friend One-Arm Omris Knockhim? The messenger. I think I only have one messenger. Right, you punched this wild boar unconscious, Mr. Omris Knockhim, with your one remaining hand. Possibly we don't need any soldiers. Oh, Omris Knockhim gets charged by a wild boar and falls over. And promptly starts punching another wild boar. Giant wild boar. Oh dear, that looked messy. Oh dear, you're so your left thumb is now elsewhere, which means you're now down to 0.8 hands. Well, I hope there is a soldier on their way. They've brought an iron longsword with them. So I think things are likely to start getting quite a lot better for you guys soon. If you can just hold on, Uzol, and not like go and start actually attacking this thing. Oh dear, Uzol Omris Knockhim has died, I think. Yes. To a wild boar. I mean, now that the soldier has turned up, the killing the wild boars is turning out to be a fairly trivial operation. Especially by starting with the ones that are already unconscious. We're going to have to deal with the rest soon. You don't seem very well. You're just thirsty and a bit unhappy. Go on. Am I going to have to explicitly tell you to station slightly further west so that you find the other wild boars? I think someone is avoiding this fight. Several people are avoiding this fight. Have you decided that these agitated giant wild boars aren't a problem? You have. Possibly the agitated giant wild boars have spotted this enormous army coming to get them and decided that maybe they don't want to be involved with this after all. Well, let's see what we can do by way of trading then. We've got a bit of a musical instrument made out of something forgotten beast. What? I may have to buy that just so I can find out what it is. So pigtails are okay, aren't they? And rope reeds. You've brought a leopard. Right, we're buying that. Pigtails are okay, as are rope reeds, as are rope reeds, as are pigtails. And a black bear, I'll have that too. No silk, no wool, not sure about silk actually. Wonder if we should have a stockpile that's specifically known elf-friendly trade goods. Oh, and we should totally have a peacock. Right, have you brought anything else useful? I mean, new clothes are probably worth exchanging for old clothes. So I think some of these clothes aren't actually worn out, aren't actually worn, and I should not sell them. Clearly in a run of goblinite there. We assume that the bill and jugs are full of royal jelly. I don't think we want wooden hats. That's silly. We could buy some fruit that we don't get locally, I suppose. Like we grow persimmons. We don't need you to sell us persimmons. Beeswax is fine. Right, that'll do. Let's see if we can get away with this and we don't accidentally try to sell them something they don't like. I might scroll through the list again just to be on the safe side. Right. Wax, 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 wax. Jug, wax, wax, jug, 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 jug. Pigtail, rope reed, rope reed. Pigtail, rope reed, rope reed, rope reed, rope reed, pigtail, rope reed, rope reed, pigtail, rope reed, rope reed, rope reed, pigtail, pigtail. Actually, we should remove those. Those are not. I'll have to find some more items. Rope reed, pigtail, rope breed, rope breed, rope breed, pigtail, pigtail, right. Bill and jug. Yay! We managed to successfully trade with them, and we've just acquired ourselves some a tame bear and a tame leopard. Right, I think that's probably all we want to do with them. So no one actually seems to want to fight the remaining 2 wild boar, because the remaining 2 wild boar have, I think, seen this mob of dwarves and decided that this is not actually something they want to get involved with. Let's release some of the soldiers then. I mean, if we're lucky, the giant wild boar will walk through the front gate and immediately fall into a cage trap. And then we won't need to worry about them so much. Oh, I should add some more cage traps, because I think a common route is to come up here and then essentially take the diagonal off the southern gate post, which probably misses the cage traps up there. So let's install 2 more. Make it 3 more cage traps along there, in the hope of standing more chance of trapping creatures coming in through the gate and heading towards the fortress. Though this creature appears to be faffing. Yeah, see, this creature has neatly walked around the cage traps that actually exist. That one got caught though. So now someone will need to come down here with a spare cage. Those coffins are all installed, so let us designate them as tombs. Monk, right. 26 more tombs created. That should help. This giant wild boar seems to be weirdly peaceful. Oh, are you training the agitated Tearsal peregrine? Excellent. Let's see how you get on. It's kind of weird the way this dwarf's activity keeps changing to storing an item and then going back to training. Taming. All right, going off to drink. Inhabitant of the cage is still not tame, not even slightly trained. Okay, I do actually now have 2 caged giant wild boars. So that is a tame peacock and thus can be released. But I can't release them without planting the cage first, which is weird. That great horned owl is agitated, but we should thus plant... What's going on here? Oh right, yes. What? That was ages ago, wasn't it? Yes. They were one of the ones that got killed out here. Oh, we should release all those squads because they're no longer useful. So we also have a tin cage holding a great horned owl. Which wants training. And yes, that bitter orange wood cage holding a peacock which can be released. But there'll be a bit of a faff to get it there. Yeah. Assolberro is too injured to tame the peregrine. Probably means we should temporarily deassign them from that job because they seem to be a bit confused at the moment. All right, that's why they kept blinking in and out. They don't seem to be so injured that they can't do other things. But they are so injured that they can't train an animal. So let's assign a different trainer. Now they keep getting very brief store-owned item jobs, which then get cancelled. That doesn't seem to be causing any job cancellations here at least, which is nice. Oh no, there it goes. I think we might, yeah, bit worried about Assolberro because if they're very slightly injured, in a way that means like they can't do things, ability to grasp lost is quite a bad situation to be in, really. Well, go and watch a bone setting demonstration and see if, because you don't need your hands to work for that, and then see if someone like suggests you should go to the hospital. And you only seem to have a significantly injured left hand. So one might hope that you'll be able to sort yourself out. Right, so we can now release the blue peacock from that cage. Let's assign the same trainer to all of them. Right, and then we could install, so there's a tin cage holding a giant wild boar. And an olive wood cage holding a black bear, which is tame. So let's set those cages up so that we can release them. Well, not release one of them. The giant wild boar needs to be tamed first. So many things there that need to be dumped. But like the task list is stupid in terms of dumping things. Quite a lot of things to be dumped, really. Even more items to be stored in bins. I think in part because we now have bins with space in them in the clothing stockpile. Right, there's a copper cage containing a giant wild boar as well. So we don't have animal training. Oh, we do have an animal training area. Well, let's set that up like in front of, well, possibly including the cages actually. Don't know if that's necessary, but we'll do it. We're really out of melt designated items. We should fix that. Like, we are of the opinion that copper armour is worthless, so let's designate all the copper armour that we can find for melting. Right, that should make sure that we have enough things to melt. Right, so we can now release that black bear and have a tame black bear wandering around our fortress. We should obviously allow it to become someone's pet. Okay, we have a slightly trained giant stray Kia, which we might be able to do something with. Seb says, do pets ever become untame? And the answer is yes. I wonder where that stray koala is. It's not in a cage, so it's presumably around somewhere. Yes, pets can become untame, but I think if they have a trainer assigned, the trainer will usually do a pretty decent job of keeping them from actually going wild again. And this only applies to those that aren't fully tame. So if we look at... So you'll notice that some of these are marked as tame and some are marked as trained. And trained is the lowest level, and then there are various levels of like more trained but still not tame, like well trained and masterfully trained and so forth. And then and I think actually you can't take a wild animal and make it fully tame. Like you have to have at least one more generation where you're trained and still able to be re-wild animals have children, and those can be fully tame, I think, which has the consequence that only animals that can have children. Oh dear. That's interesting. That's not the one that we were expecting, because we do actually still owe the... Oh dear, there's some rotting going on somewhere. Let's chase that down. Oh, it's probably from up here, because there is a dead turkey somewhere up here, I think. I thought it was. Yes, there. Already marked for dumping, someone just needs to do it. What was I saying? I was blithering about tame. Oh, yes, we need to install the second memorial down here, for one thing, which is not, I think, the person who has come back to haunt us. Seb says, I think what I'm asking is, if you give someone a pet bear, is there a chance he'll eat them? I think, yes, there is a chance, especially if the assigned animal trainer doesn't get round to keeping the bear properly trained. The bear, though, no, the bear is fully tame and will not go back to being wild. So I think, unless... I mean, there's, I suppose, a possibility that the dwarf will, for instance, go mad and attack the bear, at which point the bear might defend itself. But I think as long as the dwarf doesn't attack the bear won't attack the dwarf, because the bear is fully tame, being provided by the elves. Now, the giant wild boars, on the other hand, might be a bit more interesting. So, that's the memorial to Mr. Emenzephon that we want to install in order to stop that person rising as a ghost, except that it turns out we have... someone else who has risen as a ghost, whom I had not known was in danger of doing so. Erdim Emalaral. who, yes, is currently here. Who does not appear to be, like, lying around anywhere. Well, let's make them a slab. So Seb says, oh, so another pet bear might, but this one won't. Yes, a bear that we had tried to tame, because probably in part because our fortress doesn't know how to make properly tame bears, would probably be dangerous. This bear being fully tame, is almost certainly not a problem, I think. Right, so the bear has been released. She feels free after being released from confinement. Now we just need to find someone who likes black bears. Though, to be fair, like, part of the purpose of having a bear here is for the possibilities of what might happen if the goblins turn up and meet it. Like, it depends rather on the goblins, but I suspect the ones with the crossbows may not be. Can we train a bear for war? I don't think black bears can be trained for war. No. Right, we could train a leopard for war, on the other hand, if we can find it. We could have a war leopard, which might be amusing. Let's just throw that Kia corpse away. I'm pretty sure it's not useful. Well, I mean, I say just throw it away as though anyone's going to get around to dumping any items anytime soon. This entire area appears to be full of agitated giant wild boar teeth. Are you still making bins? You are. Good. Well, kind of still. Not that anyone is actually doing it. Why is there a cage there? I don't know. It's an empty cage. Sure someone will find somewhere to put it shortly. Giant thrips mangled chitin is not worth even hauling into the stockpile. Right. Still so much stuff that needs to be disposed of. Everywhere I look, there are dead animals. Please, can we have fewer dead animals around? Also, resume construction. Still got plenty of, well, some of that wood's probably accounted for, isn't it? Right. So I just actually let's see what's going on with who's our main animal trainer at the moment. Then I think we're going to need more. Is Sodel Atterog doing all of them? Yes. All right, but they're now off doing combat training. Maybe we take Sodel Atterog out of their squad so that they can spend all their time training animals. So they're currently a member of the Regal Guilds. They are a legendary spear dwarf, which makes it seem slightly unfair to take them off it. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because I think we want them training animals more. Of course, that now means that all of the items that they were using as a soldier are no longer needed. So they're now going to store at least one of them in a bin. What's that there? That looks like a corpse. Oh, it's only chitin. Okay, that's fine. Where are you going with this steel high boot? I'm pretty sure this is not the ideal route to any bin you should reasonably be putting that steel high boot in. Are you going to pick up a load of additional armour? Because you can't possibly just put your boot in there. The fortress attracted no migrants this season. Yes, you appear to be collecting metal armour. And now you're going downstairs to store it, I presume. Just checking that those are, that one got suspended again. This is the slight problem with trying to build anything when you have agitated wildlife around, is that everyone gets interrupted in the middle of all their tasks. Right. Why has that leopard cage not got placed anywhere? Pretty sure we bought it. Well, let's build it anyway. The bear is out of its cage, so we can dismantle that cage. So I'm not quite sure how high we need to get the training of these animals before we decide we can safely let them out. So yes, you still have a trainer marked, even though you are also... Alright, and then we can assign a trainer to those ones because we can train them for war or hunting. Yes, yes. Right. Anyway, I don't think there's much more to do tonight. I'm just looking through this to see where we are with the training of the new creatures. Right, so you're level 1 trained. That's about all we have there. Let's get the wild boars a bit better. So yes, I think it is time to snooze. So I will say save and then good night. Good night.